Hey everyone, I'm Sebastian from Cinemageddon Reviews, and the night has finally come. The biggest night in showbiz, a moment of celebration for cinema of many different shapes and forms. As long as you're white and rich. We're here tonight because we love movies. We love movies so much that we dedicated our personal lives and even our studies to them. As such, it's only fitting that we, like many others before us, tend to look forward to the biggest night of the year with great anticipation, excitement, and the occasional cynical thought over that one movie that shouldn't have been nominated in the first place. You know which one you are. But what about those movies that didn't make the cut? Those that you were very sure would be nominated, for one reason or another ended up getting snubbed in favor of a safer and more socially acceptable option. There are a great many films over the course of movie history that were either pushed aside or were either unceremoniously ignored in favor of a better film in its place. Unless you're an animated movie, in which case you were ignored because the guys handling the ballot had a bias against Chinese cartoons, thinking no one wanted to see them get nominated. Yes, that actually happened. Tonight, we sing praise to those wishful thoughts, those amazing maybes, and those impossible possibilities, as we, along with the support of all of you watching from home, pay our respects to the true underdogs of this year's Academy Awards. Ladies and gentlemen and others, welcome to the first ever annual Cinemageddon Reviews fan-voted Oscars.
Goes to, and the Oscar goes
and the Oscar goes to
"2021 gave us some incredible movies after a devastating period of fear, anxiety, and stress following the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. And while a majority of these movies were slated to be released on the year before, 2021 gave us a great combination of movies from all over the world to watch and consider for the coveted Golden Statue. From amazing blockbusters like Spider-Man No Way Home and A Quiet Place Part 2, to beautiful independent creations like Titane or The Green Knight. From the musically brilliant like Tick Tick Boom and In the Heights, to the artistically brilliant like Bo Burnham Inside and The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Unfortunately, weird as it may seem, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science has a tendency to, not know what they're doing when it comes to the way that they're handling their voting process, along with their inane desire to stay relevant in an environment where the simplest solution is the one that they're allegedly being told not to actually go with. Right now, the newest Get Popular Quick scheme is the amazingly flawed Oscars fan favorite, where you can tweet out what movie you think is good enough to be deemed worthy of an Oscar by popular vote. And because this is the internet, naturally, one of the contenders for this prize is this abomination. Don't laugh, this was winning once upon a time. So as a way of countering this, along with protesting the terrible business practices being implemented by either them or the network distributing the event, we took it upon ourselves to let the real fans decide what the Oscars fan favorite actually is. We surveyed many areas around social media and put out many polls for fans to decide which of the nominees that they picked deserve this kind of recognition. Now, let's get the rules out of the way before we truly start the show. Number 1. These nominees were selected by popular vote outside of the channel. No one here affiliated with Cinemageddon Reviews has altered or affected these nominations in any way, shape, and form. Number 2. The start-off and cutoff date for the movies in question was from March 2021 to February of 2022 on account of the softening of the rules relating to COVID. Number 3. This is pretty obvious, but we here at Cinemageddon Reviews are not and have not been affiliated with anybody connected to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. And what we're doing here is for entertainment purposes only and nothing more. And number 4. Don't take it too seriously. If you don't agree with the nominations or the win, this is all just harmless good fun and nothing more. The day our opinion becomes the be-all end-all is the day integrity truly does go the way of the dodo. With that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Movie magic is able to bring the impossible to life through the power of special effects. The following movies are responsible for making us believe that the impossible can be possible. Whether it's bringing unspeakable horrors to life, transporting us to Arthurian Britain, showing the rise of a giant starfish from space, or the fall of celestial beings with incredible powers, along with the resurrection of a beloved icon from a beloved series. Here are the nominees for achievement in visual effects. Ghostbusters Afterlife, Sheena Dougal, Alessandra Ongaro, Elia Pop, and Aaron Borland. The Suicide Squad, Kelvin McElwain, Dan Sodick, Brian Hirota, and Elaine Lilane. Eternals, Stephanie Soretti, Neil Corbold, and Jae Sung Oh. A Quiet Place Part 2, Jason Snell, Shinogorod Zaleski, Lee Briggs, and Lawrence Berkani. The Green Knight, Nicholas Ash Bateman, Cab Cahill, Andy Campion, and Jacqueline Allen. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to The Green Knight. The advancement of special effects have broadened the way we look at movies from a visual standpoint. The following nominees, however, managed to capture our imaginations with the help of the creativity and ingenuity of hundreds of hard-working and clever-thinking individuals bringing their visions to life for all to witness. Here are the nominees for achievement in production design. Titane, production design by Laurie Coulson. Set design by Lice Poe. The Green Knight, production design by Jay Healy, set design by Jenny Oman. Tick Tick Boom, production design by Alex DiGirlando, set design by Lydia Marks. Army of the Dead, production design by Julie Berghoff, set design by Sophie Neudorfer. Eternals, production design by Eve Stewart and Clint Wallace, set design by Pancho Camaro and Michael Standish. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Tick Tick Boom. Dolly Parton famously once said, "It costs a lot of money to look this cheap." Excuse me, wrong wardrobe. There we go. It takes a strong imagination to make the insane and ridiculous look sexy and fashionable, and an even stronger one to make the ludicrous look normal. Damn, I look good. Here are the nominees for achievement in makeup and hairstyling. The French Dispatch, The Suicide Squad, Army of the Dead, Spencer, Cyrano. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Army of the Dead. And now to follow up the reason anybody takes on a role as flamboyant and as crazy as this. To prove that anyone can look fabulous on screen regardless of how fantastically dressed they are. Here are the nominees for achievement in costume design. The Suicide Squad, Judiana Makovsky. The French Dispatch, Milena Canonero. Army of the Dead, Stephanie Portnoy. Spencer, Jacqueline Durran. Belfast, Charlotte Walter. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to The French Dispatch. The key to a movie's success isn't always based on what we see, but rather what we hear. Oftentimes, we take for granted just how much effort goes into a film, only to realize how many times the movie has been saved by the talented editors in charge of making sense of everything we see on screen. Here to present the award for Best Sound Editing and Film Editing is my good friend Gabriel Lopez Franco.
Thank you, Sebastian. The following movies have graced our ears with everything from unspeakable horrors to amazing superheroics. From the sound of busting ghosts to the sound of shooting bad guys. Here are the nominees for achievement in sound editing. Bang.
Spider-Man: No Way Home. A Quiet Place, Part 2. Ghostbusters Afterlife. The Suicide Squad. Army of the Dead.
And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Ghostbusters Afterlife! And now to present the award for Best Film Seb?
That's for all the hours of my life you wasted talking about Final Fantasy 15. Enjoy the hell of your own creation, bro.
Astounding. Why am I even here? Here are the nominees for Best Film Editing.
Michael P. Shaver, A Quiet Place Part 2. David Lowery, The Green Knight. Fred Raskin and Kristen Wagner, The Suicide Squad. Maren Kirstein, In the Heights. Bo Burnham Inside.
Where the hell did I put my envelope now? This is why I don't sign up for these things. I need a drink. The Oscar by fan vote goes to Bo Burnham for Bo Burnham Inside. Congrats, my dude.
The true foundation of a great movie isn't its writing. How a simple idea can take off and fly in the most amazing way through the power of imagination by those willing to let their words speak for themselves. Here to present the awards for Best Original and Best Adapted Screenplay is my good friend and co-producer and up-and-coming screenwriter/director, Diego Palacio.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Sebastian, and thank you guys so much for having me back on this channel in such spectacular fashion, and I do mean fashion. Because this may not be ranch, but it is dressin'. No? Understandable. Understandable. Anyway, tonight's not about me. Tonight is about the movies that we love. And these next two categories, the movies that were nominated for a very special reason. They made us feel something. They made us feel scared. They made us cry. They made us laugh. They made us feel like we were bursting with joy and could take on the world. Without further ado, this first category I'm introducing is Best Original Screenplay. And the nominees are Stephen Knight, Spencer. Mike Rianda and Jeff Rowe, The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Mike Mills, Come On, Come On. Michael Cernosky, Pig. Julia Ducournau, Titan. And by fan vote, the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay goes to... Wait, this is a bill. Guys, what...
Explain that it's Mitchells.
The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Mike Rianda and Jeff Rowe. Now to continue. The following few nominees are proof that the best movies of the year aren't always entirely original works. They can be autobiographical, they can be based on stage plays, books, or even beloved comic books from when we were children. The next category I'm introducing is Best Adapted Screenplay, and the nominees are Stephen Levinson, Tick, Tick, Boom, based on the musical Tick, Tick, Boom by Jonathan Larson. David Lowery, The Green Knight, based on Sir Gawain and the Green Knight by Anonymous. James Gunn, The Suicide Squad, based on characters from DC Comics. Guillermo del Toro and Kim Morgan, Nightmare Alley, based on the novel Nightmare Alley by William Lindsay Gresham. Que Alegría Udes, In the Heights, based on the musical In the Heights by Que Alegría Udes and Lin-Manuel Miranda. And by fan vote, the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay goes to... You just lost the game. Okay, come on. Guys, this isn't fun. Seriously? Give me the right one this time. Thank you. Tick, Tick, Boom, Stephen Levinson.
There is an argument to be made that while moving pictures do a great job telling the story visually, music is what truly makes the story soar in ways no picture or video could possibly compare. Here to present the nominees for Best Original Score and Best Original Song is musical theater YouTuber and closeted stomp fanatic, don't tell him I said that, Brendan Henderson, aka Wait in the Wings.
Yes! Thank you, Sebastian, for having me in front of this hot crowd who will laugh at anything I say. Don't believe me? Let's try it out. Ready? Inflation. C-SPAN. We're only here because the world's on fire and this is the last distraction we have until everything goes up in flames.
You suck!
The art of a great score can truly change the way that someone views cinema. And for many, a great story is only as great as the score that accompanies it. Whether it's across the streets of Washington Heights, online scrolling through social media, a haunting car ride, or watching a group of superheroes fight a threat greater than anything they've ever faced before, the music plays a great role in amplifying the stakes and the situations revolving around the film. So allow me to live up to my reputation of not being able to pronounce people's names correctly as we look at the nominees for Best Original Score. Lin-Manuel Miranda, Alex Lacamoire, and Bill Sherman, In the Heights. Iko Ishibashi, Drive My Car. Taisi Iwasaki, Ludwig Forsell, Yuta Bando, and Miyosaki, Bell. Tom Holkenborg, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Michael Giacchino, Spider-Man No Way Home. All right, and the Oscar by fan vote goes to Bell! Taisei Iwasaki, Ludwig Forssell, Yuta Bando, and Mio Saki. Sakai. The following songs have become synonymous to the films they're associated with, and have left a powerful mark on the minds and hearts of cinema-goers alike. These are the nominations for Best Original Song. Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham from Bo Burnham Inside. We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto, music and lyrics by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lend Me Your Voice from Bell, music and lyrics by Hasai Iwasaki, Mamoru Hosoda, and Kahu Nakamura. Growing Up from My Little Pony, A New Generation, music and lyrics by Jenna Andrews, Brian Freisel, and Taylor Upsall. One Last Kiss from Evangelion Thrice Upon a Time, music and lyrics by Hikaru Utada. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham from Bo Burnham Inside.
For the longest time, animation has been unceremoniously pushed down as a genre for children instead of a medium for movie making same as any other. Stories that can move a generation of young and old provide some of the most complex characters, gripping stories, and heartbreaking twists and turns that will put certain live-action movies to shame. Animation deserves the same kind of respect we offer filmmaking as a whole. As such, here to present the awards for Best Animated Short and Best Animated Feature is my good friend and animated anomaly, KateCast Reviews, whom I hear is very well dressed for the occasion.
Thank you, Sebastian, and yes, I have dressed up for the occasion, as you can see from the bow tie, because as my favorite space-time traveler once said, bow ties are cool. Animation as an art form has taken so many different shapes as the years went by, giving us a healthy mix of fun, strange, and inventive stories for us to fall into. Animation can make you laugh, cry, and smile just as strongly as any other form of filmmaking. Whether it's using animation to tell a moving story, recount events from the past, confuse and amaze your audience, or just show them a fun time for all to enjoy, animation has evolved from the tired mentality of being a genre aimed solely at children. Case in point, the fan-voted nominees for achievement in animation. Here are your nominees for Best Animated Short. Us Again. Souvenir, Souvenir. Mum is Pouring Rain. Flowing Home. Bad Seeds. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Us Again. The following movies have taken us on many different journeys to last us an eternity. Whether it's finding compassion between a beauty and her beast, true love conquering our personal anxieties, a quest to bring back harmony, or a quest to explore places thought too far for people to see, and the harrowing climax of one of the biggest stories ever told in animation and filmmaking as a whole. Here are the nominees for Best Animated Feature. Bell. Words bubble up like soda pop. My Little Pony, A New Generation. Evangelion, Thrice Upon a Time. The Summit of the Gods. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Belle.
What does it truly mean to have a vision for greatness? Well, if you're anything like our next nominees, that vision is grand, beautiful, and beyond description. Here to present the award for achievement in cinematography is my good friend and part-time gamer and part-time Scott the Woz impersonator, Luis Cartagena, aka Zany.
Hey y'all, not Scott here. If there will be a biopic towards Scott Wozniak, I'll audition for a leading role. And if I'm lucky, I'll even get a golden raspberry. Speaking of awards, the following films have teleported us to new worlds, brought us into the action, and showed us a side of reality we would normally not be used to seeing, all thanks to the eyes behind the camera. Here are the nominees for achievement in cinematography.
Mauro Fiore from Spider-Man No Way Home. Celine Sciamma from Petite Maman. Polly Morgan from A Quiet Place Part 2. Alice Brooks from In the Heights. Andrew Dras Palermo from The Green Knight.
And the Oscar by fan vote goes to The Green Knight. Acting has always been fascinating, not because of the roles or performances, but the physical and mental turmoil actors of any kind put themselves through to perfect their craft. There is something to be said about individuals who put themselves in dire straits in order to become some of the finest characters we've ever seen. Here are the nominees for Best Actor in a Leading Role.
Hidetoshi Nishijima from Drive My Car.
君はこう考えてる。僕たちは同じ悲しみを共有してる。同じ女を愛したから。
そんな、僕のはただの一方的な憧れです。
君は音に恋をしていた。
Anthony Ramos from In the Heights. Nicolas Cage from Pig.
I'm looking for my pig.
Dev Patel from The Green Knight.
Very well. Very well. You laid down your challenge. I accepted it, and accept it still. Never forget what happened here!
Jude Hill from Belfast.
Anyway, it's all bloody religion. That's the problem. Then why are you sending us to church?
Because your granny would kill me if I didn't.
But Daddy, if we were Catholics, we could not go to church. And then every once in a wee while we could go in and confess. And then they'd have to tell us we were forgiven and we wouldn't have to go in again for ages.
And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Nicolas Cage.
Acting has always been fascinating, not because of the roles or performances, but the physical and What? What? What is this? Did this?
Sorry.
I've not known betrayal of this caliber in a long time. Betrayed by one considered close. Do I punish those guilty of such a crime? Or do I move on? Let the rage fester from here to eternity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call acting. Here to present the award for Best Actor and Actress in a Supporting Role, along with the Best Actress in a Leading Role award, my real-life best girl and resident bee and poppycat fanatic, Erica.
Thank you, Sebastian, and honey, do us all a favor and keep a day job. Great performance lies within the strength and determination of fellow actors and actresses of all different walks of life, fighting with themselves to transform into the most powerful versions of characters they wish to embody. We've seen so many amazing, captivating performances grace our televisions and theaters, and tonight we pay tribute to those whose hard work and effort gave us a dancing troublemaker, the most supportive best friend anyone could ask for, a conflicted tyrant and father, a cyborg with a heart of gold, and a scientist with a dark side. Here are our nominees for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Tony Leung, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Ray Fisher, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I'm not broken. And I'm not alone.
Robin De Jesus, Tick Tick Boom.
No! The presentation, John, it was amazing. It would be a tragedy to give up what you have.
You did it?
Please. I was a mediocre actor. Do you know how many mediocre actors there are in New York City? Do you know how many Jonathan Larsons there are? One.
Willem Dafoe, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Norman? Norman's on sabbatical, honey. The hell?
Goblin.
No more, darker half. Did you really think that I'd let that happen? That I'd let you take away my power just because you're blind to what true power can bring you?
You don't know me.
Don't I?
Mike Feist, West Side Story.
Nobody, including me. I know that this dust that's covering everything right now, that's the 4-story buildings that was standing here when you went upstate a year ago. You know, I wake up to everything I know either getting sold or wrecked or being taken over by people that I don't like. And they don't like me. And you know what's left out of all that? The Jets.
And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Willem Dafoe.
We don't need to be fixed.
The following nominees have paved a strong way for women of many different diverse backgrounds. From a loving and caring matriarch, to an up-and-coming tennis legend, to a young girl growing up in a world surrounded by silence. These women have shown us how to be strong, caring, and determined and kind no matter what. Here are the nominees for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Millicent Simmons, A Quiet Place Part 2. Sanaya Sidney, King Richard.
Let me ask you both something. What do you want out of this? I know what your dad wants, but what about you?
Well, I want to win Wimbledon as many times as anyone's ever won it.
You think you can do that?
I know I can.
Ruth Nega, Passing.
Oh, it's silly.
No, that's good. My goodness, John. After all these years, what would it matter if you found out that I was 1 or 2% colored,
You can turn as black as you please as far as I'm concerned. I know you, okay?
Olga Meredith, In the Heights. Rita Moreno, West Side Story.
Since you was born, I watched you grow up. And you have grown into rapists. You dishonor yourselves. You dishonor your dead.
And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Ruth Nega.
John, Mimi doesn't want to hear about your pet perversions.
And now, we present the award for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Here are the nominees for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Toko Miura, Drive My Car.
僕はそんなことは気にしてない。この車は結構古いし癖もある。慣れてないと難しいと思う。
わかりました。では乗っていて、もし少しでも危険だと思わ。
Rachel Zegler, West Side Story.
Yo, María, te recibo a ti y a Antonio.
I don't know what that... Oh.
Agatha Roselle, Titan. Amelia Jones, Coda.
Happy birthday to you.
Emily Blunt, Quiet Place Part 2. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Agatha Roselle.
Everyone enjoying the show so far? The term blueprint is being passed down all over social media regarding certain filmmakers whose amazing visions are being celebrated as the foundation of many more to come. While I can't agree on who exactly the sentiment is being used in regards to, I always found myself fascinated by those brilliant filmmakers daring to put their own stamp into the collective unconscious of cinema to create something strange, magical, scary, emotional, and representative of something bigger. Here are the nominees for achievement in directing. Julia Ducournau, Titane. Lin-Manuel Miranda, Tick, Tick, Boom. John Krasinski, A Quiet Place Part 2. David Lowery, The Green Knight. John M. Chu, In the Heights. And the Oscar by fan vote goes to Julia Ducournau. And here we are, the last stop. The following films are those that have left a huge impact on the world of cinema throughout the entirety of 2021. No matter who gets crowned the winner here, the truth is, all of them have already won. They've won due to the spectacular visuals they've created, the wonderful laughs they've given us, the strange and bizarre characters they've introduced us to, the tears they made us shed for the stories that touched us and moved us. These are our favorite movies of 2021, and it gives me great pleasure to say the following words. Here are the nominees for Best Picture. Titane, Pig, Tick, Tick, Boom, Spider-Man No Way Home, In the Heights, The Green Knight, A Quiet Place Part 2, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Spencer, Bo Burnham, Inside. It's been a long night, and the Oscar by fan vote goes to Tick, Tick, Boom! Congratulations to all the nominees and winners, and many thanks to all of you who voted for them as well as nominated them. This was such an arduous piece of work, and we are very proud to have had a part in making this as much as we are in bringing it all of you on board to help with it. And yet, I must ask myself a very important question. What was the point of all of this? Why did we do this? And more importantly, I kind of have to ask myself a very important question that I keep seeing passed around online. Do the Oscars matter anymore? Well, I can't really answer that question for anybody else but me. However, I do want to give my perspective on that. To me personally, cinema has evolved astoundingly since the year Wings won the first Oscar for Best Picture ever. As cinema grew large over the decades, our perspective on how we view and consume it has grown as well. Be it from the comfort of our own homes or inside a crowded theater hall, movies continue to leave a lasting impression on all of us no matter where or how we consume them. The Oscars, in my opinion, have evolved significantly less so despite the numerous attempts to try and get with the times. To me, the biggest issue is that in their struggle to try and reach ratings, whether it's the AMPAS or their network have lost track of what exactly made the Oscars special to so many people. Whether you agree with the nominations or not, celebrate the wins or get angry at them, the Oscars are, in practice, a celebration of cinema as a whole. Not just for the films considered great that year, but because of the appreciation we as moviegoers get to share for those responsible for making our favorite movies as good as they are. the incredible editors and designers, the talented artists in charge of makeup and hairstyling, and my personal favorite, the wonderful composers who gave us our favorite movies their musical identity. The Oscars have taught me the names of so many different creative artists responsible for making me love movies as much as I do. And that curiosity I got from watching the 2010 Oscar ceremony and seeing the Hurt Locker win Best Picture introduced me to a whole new world I would have never discovered by conventional means. The Oscars to me don't matter because they give awards to movies that a bunch of crusty old white guys consider great. They matter because they introduce new viewers to movies that they would have never bothered to see and spark interest to know more as to who the people are responsible for making them. They represent something bigger than just giving a golden statue to some rich actor who played a complex role that maybe wasn't as complex as they think it was. They represent what movies truly are. Team effort. A film without a music score is naked, and a movie without proper editing will last longer than the book of Exodus. Without proper sound editing, movies would sound completely boring and unprofessional. And without impressive makeup and hairstyling, movies would look about as lifeless as a business meeting. We love to praise the acting, writing, and directing for all of our favorite movies. We worship big names like Tarantino, Scorsese, Hitchcock, and even Snyder to some extent. But what many forget or don't realize is that filmmaking is as much a collaborative effort as any long withstanding project there is, with many cooks working on their own personal kitchens to create one amazing dish for all of us to feast upon. I think to me, movie magic is best represented when you see all of the many nooks and crannies that go into filmmaking and how together they create an amazing experience that we continue to take for granted. Movies represent effort and teamwork, and each film, good or bad, deserves that kind of respect. Unfortunately, whether it's through the AMPAS's doing or the network twisting their arm for ratings, much of that team effort will be awarded but not televised on this year's Oscar in a pathetic attempt to try and boost ratings. While we respect and congratulate the many nominees for this year's Oscars and wish them the best of luck in the world, we here at Cinemageddon Reviews will not let that disrespect go unnoticed. And in no particular order, ladies and gentlemen and others, join me in paying respects to those whose hard work and effort is being pushed aside. On behalf of movie buffs all around the world, we salute and respect all of the nominees, regardless of our thoughts on the quality of the films in general, because if the Oscars refuse to acknowledge your hard work and give it the respect it deserves, then we definitely will. Thank you for all your hard work and your creativity, and I thank all of you for joining us tonight in this amazing passion project of ours. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for this video, Wade in the Wings, Abigail Verzella, Chelsea A. Crandall, and Kate from KateCast Reviews. If you'd like to join them in helping to keep the lights on in here, and check out our Patreon page for bonus content and exclusive rewards. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd like to give a special shout out to my wonderful girlfriend Erica, my best friends Gabriel and Luis, my co-producer Diego, and our two guest stars, Brendan Henderson from Wade in the Wings and Kate from KateCast Reviews, for joining us in this amazing occasion at the last minute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, I'm Sebastian from Cinemageddon Reviews signing out. Eat your heart out, AMPAS, and we'll see you on the wasteland.